Is another MyView TV exclusive. Please remember to hit the notification bell, like, share, and subscribe.
I don't bring nobody forward in your cheer for me. Everything what you see up, my natural talent. Let me tell you something. You see, when you know what to please the audience with, it's simple, man.
People, hope everybody doing okay, hope everybody doing alright. Remember me tell you, this is not a political platform. No. We bring everything what them are hiding in the news. See, them people, the bank come for rap poor people blind. Yeah man, me talk it as it is and as it might be. So Nigel said him have to go have a sit down with them. And Oak come and him a chat about bunch of garbage. Me a go make on this to them, you know. But the PMP say, one day for remember the last time them vote against all of this, what it happen.
I believe in dialogue. And so I have called the banks in. I have spoken to them. And I expect them to be responsive. It would seem as if our commercial banks are tone deaf. There seems to be a callous disregard for the economic circumstances of a plurality of Jamaicans. How else do you explain that the banks have introduced a fee of $25 in one instance and $30.85 in another instance to withdraw your money from an ATM they have put in place? And if you use another bank to withdraw your money, it's $60. Before this round of increases, it was free. I thought that the idea was to graduate customers from inside the banking hall to using the digital channels. How do you expect to do that if you're going to charge people to withdraw their own money from an ATM? For those Jamaicans who are on an income of $15,000 a week or less, when you dock them $60 to take out their money that they got paid, it is a material amount. The banks have to be sensitive to the economic structure of the country. And so I have called the banks in. I have spoken to them, and I expect them to be responsive.
Whilst I am looking forward to the end of the pandemic and to ending the measures of the pandemic, we are still in a pandemic. And it is not just a pandemic of a threat of a virus. Persons whose income disappeared or was significantly reduced still have mortgages piling up on them, still have credit card bills that they didn't or were not able to pay. Children are now going back to school, so fees are now coming back in. Bus fares and lunch money have to be paid. And then they have to now hear about increases in bank fees. This great potential economy that we have exists in a social context. And the leaders of the economy must pay close attention to the social context. My job as a leader of the government is to facilitate as much with market-based approaches and solutions. But I have a higher duty to protect the equity of the country, to protect the vulnerable of the country.
All members of the government, including the Prime Minister, voted against it. All members of the then opposition voted for it. That's the reality. So I was a bit excited, but confused when I read a release that the party of the government is calling on the government of the party to act. So, I don't claim to be the brightest person around. So if somebody can explain who's talking to who. Since the banks get the benefit of the deposits in their accounts, they should allow a minimum amount of transactions per month, per year, without any fees. They must be able to make deposits into their accounts without any fees or penalties. They must be able to withdraw from their accounts at their convenience without being penalized by way of a fee. They must be able to make inquiries into their accounts without a fee.
So that is that, where that is concerned. We can move on a little further in the news now. Because hopeless come on and I couldn't know say watch on, man. Enough is enough. The country are open back. So if I dirt, I dirt.
So I'm saying this here, both the business community, which I'm certain you understand and support the position that I have taken, but to prepare the society generally that in the coming months, we will have to start to take down some of the restrictions that are in place. Well, take down more of the restrictions that are in place. And the public should now start to visualize the ending of the DRMA, that is the Disaster Risk Management Act, and the various protocols and restrictions that it underpins. The public should now start to visualize us coming out of the pandemic measures and returning to our full economic capabilities and output. Almost 2 years into the pandemic, we have both the knowledge and the means to protect ourselves. Citizens have access to enough reliable information and resources to assess their own health and risks, as well as their own economic and social circumstances, and make their own personal decisions. Having armed the population with information on how the virus spreads and the infection prevention and control protocols that have proven to be effective, such as I was saying earlier, wearing masks, sanitizing, and physical distancing, and having multiple vaccines widely available, the balance of responsibility for protection now shifts from the government to the individuals and families. It is therefore no longer appropriate or necessary for the government to use crude blanket measures such as lockdowns to shield the population from the virus. These crude measures are designed to restrict movement which spreads the virus. However, these restrictions ultimately and inevitably put a stranglehold on economic and social activity. They keep our children out of school. They have a devastating impact on livelihoods, particularly for the poor and vulnerable. They also have severe psychosocial impacts. Therefore, barring any extreme change in circumstances, our approach will be to gradually scale back the restrictive measures once we get out of the fourth wave that we are now experiencing.
We talk to hopeless, we don't know who will come next. The people them favorite clown.
Today I have not called for the Commissioner of Police's resignation. I've said I'd like to see within 60 days a marked improvement in his strategic response to the situation on the ground.
I disagree with them pinning it on the Commissioner, that he's not the one who is responsible for the crime in the country. If they find he's weak on operational matters, then they should enumerate those weaknesses.
Believe say the head have to do something before the tail can get better.
Oh, he's trying the best, and I don't know who, if they're going to move him, who is there to pit him right now.
The pressure is on everyone. Everybody's frustrated, the rich and the poor.
People are trying to disrupt that for whatever agenda or reason. And even those who probably don't realize that that's what they're doing by their commentary and comments. We are in a position where shootings at the moment are down 16%. Rape is down. Robbery is down. Break-ins are down. But still we're plagued with this murder because you have criminals out there who are bent on resolving their issues by murder and killing each other. And that accounts for the large proportion of the murders that we are seeing. As you know, once you have a killing, if we don't interrupt it right away, then the reprisals follow. Before you know it, these gangs have decimated each other. But the reality is they are also Jamaican citizens, and we have to ensure that we prevent them from doing it by putting them in prison for the crimes that they are committing. I want to say to people that we are committed. I am committed as the Commissioner, and I have 4 deputies committed to work with me, each within their portfolio, and move their portfolios ahead. It's a collection of all of this and the increase in capacity and ability of the JCF that is going to lead to the long-term security.